Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In the last video we just finished another research, which is our synthetic oil experiments. So what this will now allow us to do is we should be able, somewhere, if I go to the right thing, we should now be able to build synthetic refineries. This building provides the state with 5 oil and 2 rubber. So we could go ahead and build a synthetic oil refinery, and we could maybe put one up here in Lothane, one in Northern Ireland. And we're already working on civilian factories now, but let's go ahead and just bump one of those up to a higher priority. And then maybe once that's done, we no longer have to trade with the USA to get our oil. So we've got research slot available now. So we could go on to oil plants, which increases our synthetic refinery level. So we are sort of in the right time for doing that. What about our doctrine? What about our air doctrine? So we haven't even picked one of these yet. I think, I don't know which one of these that I really want to go for. I think ground support might be slightly more useful. Or tactical bombers. Flexible and can perform both ground support and regular bombing. I think that's what we want to go for, operational integrity. So that'll give us some 20% interception detection. Let's go for it. We're going to take the plunge. It might be the wrong choice, but I'm guessing most of the choices that I'm making in this campaign are already wrong, so I'm not worried too much about it. We've also finished the battle fleet concentration, so that was our naval doctrine. So we could go for the next one now. I don't think these ones have a head of time penalty, so you can just go for these whenever you want. So the next one in the list here with 10% carrier organisation and 10% sortie efficiency. We could still pick one of these other ones if we wanted to. So we could get destroyer sub detection. Being able to detect submarines is not a bad thing actually, because we do know that the Germans did have a lot of submarines. So being able to deal with those is not a bad thing. We have now produced that other unit. Let's go ahead and add you to the army, so you can be doing some exercises and getting some more experience. Getting 0.053 daily. It's not an awful lot. So as your equipment is used in combat, you gain army experience. This means that you can gain army experience when your division engages in battle, or you have lend-leased equipment to your allies' wars. You also gain experience from conducting exercises with troops that are at least a level trained from certain national focuses. Some ministers can increase experience gained. So what we're essentially doing is, you never really want to have your factories doing nothing, but when your factories are doing nothing, get them to build equipment, get your armies to do exercises, and then that production is being converted into equipment, which is then being converted into experience for your soldiers. So that's quite an interesting little concept there. Now, we don't have any more regiments being produced. Now, unfortunately, we are very, very short on manpower right now. And our growth is very, very low. Let's go ahead and have a look at logistics. We are still behind on artillery, and in fact, we still have a deficit, but that's probably because our production efficiency is quite low at the moment. Yeah, production efficiency is really, really bad, but it is going up though. It certainly is increasing. We cannot deploy any of these ships because we have insufficient manpower. National focus is complete. I guess we could go ahead and turn off all of these ships for now. I mean, it means we have a lot of our dockyards not doing anything, but if we don't have any manpower, what are we supposed to do? I want to cancel that one. We could go ahead and just put like almost every factory we've got into one of these, but I think we'll just go ahead and cancel that. So we are going to have 3 dockyards for the time being. Let's try and get our manpower back up right now. Let's go for another national focus then. So we just completed Commonwealth ties. It gives us a lot of opinion with people. So this focus is to get Canada to like us. That'll give them... So Canada gains aged industrial development. So we can help Canada. We can help South Africa, we can help develop the Raj, or we can help develop Australia. I think for the time being, we will go for Canada. So let's start working on that. So basically, we are using our national focus to help shore up our allies. We're not getting free buildings in our own territories. We're getting free buildings in our allies' territories, which will make them stronger. That's assuming, of course, they do end up being our allies. We would assume that they are, because they are currently all within the allies. So yeah, we've got South Africa, Canada, British Raj, Australia. We need the US to get pulled into this as well. So, Soviet Union. Why aren't we friends with the Soviet Union? I feel like the Soviet Union should be friendly with us. Hopefully. Is there an opinion map mode here? Factions. Shows which nations have joined. So we can see Axis. We can see the Allies. I'd kind of like to be friends with the Soviets. I mean, they weren't part of the alliance, that we were fighting on the same side, you know, sort of enemy of my enemy kind of thing. So I think what we might have to do, toggle display the day and night loop. Let's take that off for a little while, because I think that's one of the things that's killing my frame rate. No, it's making practically no difference whatsoever. Fine. Toggle the unit icon colours on the map between countries and alliance. So that's fair enough. Interesting little thing. And that's battle plan arrows. We don't actually have any battle plans. So the world tension is still only at 8%. So German Reich. Wow, that peace treaty of Barcelona was a massive, massive chunk on the world tension. And the German Reich here with an anti-Comintern pact. Not too sure exactly what that is and what that does. Clicking on it doesn't seem to tell me anything about it, so that's fine. I know my dockyards aren't doing anything. We still don't have any manpower. Hoping it will rebuild. Maybe it's using it because we are reinforcing the artillery. And so we are getting... all these men are getting attrition, actually. They're all losing health. I think we're going to have to stop this, because that's why we don't have any manpower. Just because of all the attrition. So let's stop exercising the army. If you actually look on here... that's just their organisation. Yeah, their hit points are all going down as well. Now then, are we actually losing experience? No, doesn't look like we are. So these guys are all going to be entrenched. Belongs to an army but has no orders. That's fine. So let's see if this makes our manpower go back up at all. It may be just because we are still trying to reinforce all of these units with artillery. So they are starting to receive artillery, and I'm guessing that the artillery comes from manpower as well. Excuse me. I really do regret now that I altered that template, because I really didn't want to give every single one of these units a artillery. I mean, I guess I could go ahead and remove it. It's wasting experience. I should have had a secondary template. I should have created a clone of the template. But you know, you live and learn. So, are these guys getting deployed yet? Current series numbers of deployment in the line. Are you just permanently churning more of these out? Type here to change the unit's current prefix. Yeah, we're training up another one here with the look of things. Do we have any more units that are not part of the armies? They all seem to be queuing up in the East Midlands. Increase the number of serial training of divisions that each line will complete. That's why we've got this set on infinite. Click to deploy the lines instantly. Cancel production of these deployment lines. Let's start cancelling these, because I think I've gone and screwed up. So now we get some manpower back. Okay. I didn't realise that that thing was set onto infinite, so we were getting far more troops than we should have had. How many units do we have? 21 divisions. There's 21 divisions in the army. That's fine. Okay, so we need a new national... no, modify government. So do we want to take another advisor here? Not sure any of these are going to be particularly useful right now. So what about if we go for one of these things? So these give us what exactly? More reliability, small arms research time, motorization research time, artillery research time, industry research time, and electronics research time. And what about Doctrine? Air experience. Oh, air experience gained daily. Heh. Frank Whittle, rocket scientist. Frank Whittle, Sir Francis Whittle, was the inventor, or the discoverer, or whatever you want to call it, of the jet engine. And he is from a town called Loughborough. No, he isn't. Let's get that right. He's from a town called Lutterworth, which is in the south of Leicestershire. And again, quite close to where I live. And if you've ever been to Lutterworth, there is a roundabout, or a traffic island, whatever you want to call them, depending on where you're from in the world. And it is the Sir Frank Whittle roundabout, and it actually has a big sculpture in the middle of it of a World War II jet plane. So it's quite cool that he's in the game. I don't know who some of these guys are. I do recognise some of the names, but I don't know who all of them are. Obviously, we've got Montgomery in there, so do recognise some of these. Chief of Army, Division Attack. We get anything that just gives us experience? Yeah, these military high command, division recovery rate, reduced attrition. That could be useful, especially if we're doing training. Because they're only taking 6% attrition. Let's go ahead and get that guy. And then let's go ahead and get the army. And let's go ahead and get them... Why does their experience level look like it's dropped? I thought they were all up to regulars. They're all now down to sort of trained again. Let's go ahead and get them all exercising again. So they should be taking some attrition now, but it should cancel out. It says attrition present 5%. So exercise plus 6% multiplied by... Oh, right, so it's not additive. So I'm not removing 8%. I'm removing 8% of the 6%. Well, that doesn't really make sense. So I thought I'm taking 6% attrition. If I hire a guy that removes 8% attrition, then I won't be getting any attrition, because my attrition is only 6%. And I'm gaining 8, but that's not the case. So this could be a mistake, though. So basically, I'm getting 6% attrition, and then my advisor is removing 8% of the 6%, which is still not really all that useful. So I want to see if this costs us any manpower, because we're not currently training any units, we're not currently building any ships. We are sort of working on tanks, but they are filled. We're still quite short on artillery. None of our naval dockyards are doing anything. It's a shame we can't do anything else with them. At least I don't think there is. We could work on convoys. Convoys are used for international trade goods and resources. Also used to ferry troops around. We probably have a surplus of them. Let's go ahead and say we want to build 20 maybe. And we'll go and assign all of our dockyards to them. Just so they're doing something. But yeah, we want this manpower to try and go up, not down, if we can avoid that from happening. But yeah, I need to find out whether or not attrition is killing men off. Manpower is going up now. Now we're not wasting it all on ships. What do we have in terms of our navy right now? Because we have a lot of ships. 134 destroyers, 44 submarines. Our aircraft must be doing pretty well as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like we were building anymore. What are these ones with the strain tag? While holding shift to select multiple. Why have you got that weird little tag there? Oh, is that because you're based on a carrier? Yes, you're based on the ship. That's why. So that's actually telling me where all of the aircrafts are. Yorkshire, but these ones are on the HMS Furious and the HMS Courageous. So you guys are all stationed on aircraft carriers. Right, okay. So it is the 6th of May 1937. I'm not sure if that's historically accurate because my history is not that good. But we have the Hindenburg disaster. The German passenger airship Hindenburg was destroyed today while attempting to dock at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station in the United States. For reasons not yet determined, the airship was engulfed in flames and crashed to the ground, claiming 35 lives. Due to the scarcity and expense of helium and the US ban on exporting it, the Hindenburg, like all German passenger airships, was ultimately engineered to use hydrogen, which provides greater lift but is also flammable. With public faith shaken by this disaster and the rise of much faster passenger aircraft, this could spell the end of an era for airships, which is a big shame, really. Development in Canada is finished. Did that actually increase the... no, it didn't increase the world tension. It's just an alert more than anything. So what we could do now is go for development in South Africa. We could start working down the rest of these trees. We could also go down the Mediterranean bastion and get ourselves... Don't really need more naval bases. I've got so many of them. What about this... this one over here? Can we get this yet? No, because it's not 37. It's close. We're getting close to that one. Let us go and... I don't really know. I don't really know what we should be getting here. Building slots and civilian factories. Let's go ahead and get that, because 3 factories is 3 factories, right? So we'll be able to find a use for them nice and easily. So I want to see if my manpower's going up. Now that's monthly growth in state, so I assume that goes up at the beginning of each month. Which is fine. How's our construction queue doing? Nope, I want the construction queue. So we are working on the synthetic refineries, and we've got some more factories to work. Then we're working on infrastructure, then anti-air, then fortifications. So let's have a quick look at our trade. So we want to look at our oil. We're actually exporting 21. We're importing 8. We have a surplus of 13. So I think we can actually cancel that trade. Set the amount that we need to buy to fill our need for a current resource. Yeah. We don't need to buy any, so we set that to 0. So we're no longer importing oil. What are we exporting? We're exporting tungsten. We're exporting oil. We're exporting aluminium. We're exporting rubber. Or is that what's exported in the world? No, that's what we have in stock. Look at chromium. We produce 238. We are exporting 119. We have a surplus of 119. So that's how much we have to export, but not how much we are actually exporting, I don't think. So we are exporting oil to Canada and British Raj. We are exporting aluminium to British Raj. We're exporting rubber to Canada, the United States and Australia. So we do have some exports going. We should now have some free factories as well, which is our normal factory. So we now have 44 factories. And out of those 44 factories, 8 of them are being used for trade. So we've got 36 factories, 20 are being used for consumer goods, which leaves 24 to work on building, and that's 15 plus 9. So, yep, that's working just as it should be. I think it is anyway. We've got a couple more factories to work on, then we start working on infrastructure. So, infrastructure basically provides the state with improvements of infrastructure. It increases your supply power in strategic regions and increases your division's speed. So you can basically move more quickly between states and provinces, and you should also, I believe, take less attrition or get supplies sent to you more quickly. Not too sure which way around that works. How are we doing these days with the artillery? We're still a little bit short. What do we have a surplus on infantry equipment? We've got a 15k surplus on infantry equipment at the moment. I think that is as good a time as any to remove a couple of factories and reassign them to... not you. Reassign them to the artillery. So again, we do take a little bit of a hit on the production efficiency there, but that should speed things up for you. So if we go ahead now and start looking at these other divisions, we just pick one at random. See, these guys currently, they're all at level 3. They seem to lose that when they stop exercising. But if we go and click on one of these guys now, we'll see that they are starting to get artillery. It tells us their HP, their supply use. Yeah, 9 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 engineer company, 1 support artillery. And that support artillery is using quite a bit of supply. So how much supply a unit consumes per day? And then if you actually look on the province should tell us how much supply it has. Force rotation has finished. You have to have a unit selected to see the weight of the province. It used to be... I'm sure I saw it at some point. Oh, that's what that is. That's what you're producing. Still is the primary metal. Oh, okay. Is that how much is available? Where is my resource map? Okay, so we've got quite a lot of resources in some of these places. Supply areas map mode. There we go. So, if we look in each area, we've got 3 different icons. So we've got the fuel. Required 4.85. So our army is requiring 4, our navy is... Because it's not per province, it's per state. So the army in that state is using 4.35, the navy 0.32, and none is being used by the air. So that means there's a requirement of... it says 4 on the actual icon, but it's 4.85, it's being rounded. And it supports 153, so the supply limit here is 153, of which we are using 4. Control of incoming edge provinces gives us a 100% modifier. And sort of different provinces. Yeah, Manchester, Leeds, Hull, Liverpool, Newcastle. Previous bottleneck infrastructure in northern England. So, yeah, we have, what's that, 122? This is, the average infrastructure of states in the area is 7, will increase how much supply can go through it. The total level of infrastructure in the area is 21. And that's something to do with naval bases. Highest level naval base is 6. That must mean we've got 51 ships here, possibly? Is the red number how many troops we've got in the area? Honestly don't know what that one means. Because we've got 1 regiment here, or 1 division. Doesn't tell us how many troops are in it. I mean, you would assume if there's 910 infantry equipment, there must be 910 infantry. Which would kind of make sense, I suppose. I mean, there's 9 regiments within the division. So, if there's 100 men in the regiment, that would make sense. And then the extra 10 is either spares or it's given to the engineers or somebody doing the support. Yeah, it tells us that. Oh, division manpower. The division contains 10,100 troops. As soldiers die, they receive reinforcements from your country's manpower pool. Now, that's obviously something that we expected. That, you know, dead soldiers will get replaced. But are they dying while they're on exercise? That's what I want to know. So, we have finished paratroopers and grand battle plan. Now, one thing I want to know, and I'm not going to be able to change it anyway, but if I go ahead and have a look at... Yeah, we've got paratroopers now. So, can we actually edit these guys to paratrooping? No, divisions using this template cannot be parachuted. But we do have paratroopers. So, that's good. So, and also, it's a free division. So, we don't have to spend any money to create this template. We can already build divisions of paratroopers, which is really, really useful. So, we've got 3 research slots all open now. Let's go and work on Marines, because we will definitely need to do some amphibious assaults. Let's have a look what else we could get. Maintenance companies could be useful. And these guys are all part of the motorized pool, I think, are they? Why are they all in these boxes? Field hospital. Requires the following technologies. Motorized. Well, we already have motorized, and we have radio. So that's why these are already unlocked. So we could get field hospitals. It says it enables field hospital, but it doesn't actually say what it does for us. Field hospital trigger back. Field hospital experience loss reduction. Logistics company. Again, doesn't really tell me what an awful lot of these do, which I don't find that useful. armour. We could definitely go and work on the better tanks. We could go and work on these Matildas. These are still better against light tanks. Let's work on the Vickers, just in case we do need to get some stuff done against heavy tanks. And maybe we want to have a look at some of the Doctrine. Are we working on this one currently? I think we are. And for the aircraft here, fighter baiting. Interception, mission efficiency plus 20%, and ace generation chance plus 10%. Oh yeah, we definitely need to go and work on that. So that is all of our science queued up, or research. Yeah, we are working on convoy sailing, so that is fine. But I think that that is a good point to end the video. I might go off and see if I can find some information about attrition and whether it's actually taking men from the manpower pool or whether it is just coming from the equipment. But overall, most of our equipment is fine. We are still down a little bit on light tanks. I don't know why. Do we have a tank division on maneuvers or anything? Do we even have an armoured division? We do have one armoured division. Yeah, so you are actually in maneuvers. That's why we're down slightly on tanks. We could go and sort that out if we went to our production. And maybe... What have we got a massive surplus of at the moment? Military equipment, we're still having a relatively decent surplus there. So if we went and took a factory out of that, and we added a line for the Vickers tank, and we got one factory in there, and it's saying the quota's filled, which I don't think is particularly true. I suppose the quota is filled because we have a positive number. So we currently have a surplus of units. So I guess our quota is filled. But as we start to produce more each month, then that quota should go back up. So it is filled because we have a surplus. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But I am going to end the video here. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Hearts of Iron 4. I'll see you guys on the next video. And until then, goodbye for now.